Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this week's energy message. So, this week I'm actually doing it a little bit different because I really wanted to cover a lot of the major transits that are going on this week alone. And so, this special recording, especially because we have the couple of things going on. We have Christmas going on at the end of the week. We also have the winter solstice on the 21st. And on top of that, we have the new moon in Capricorn happening on the 23rd of December. And in the time of this recording, the year is 2022. And we also have, again, we're welcoming in the Capricorn season. And so we have a lot of major energy transits. And so I just figured, you know what? Let me just knock out a couple of cans with one stone, right? So we're going to have this actually available in the form of a podcast this week, as well as an online video. And so welcome, welcome. And for those of you who are new, my name is Stephanie and known as Divine Cosmos. My Instagram handle, if that's where you found me, if you haven't yet, check it out. It's divine.cosmic.empress. And as a shamanic high priestess, spiritual healer, energy worker, I also love to share about the transits of the energy. Not only do I work with the spirits of the planets and signs and stars and houses, but I also work with plant medicine, crystals. And so as an oracle, I love to bring out this medicine of how you can begin to work with the transits, the special workings of the holidays, you can say, that come through. And it's so important because for many of us, especially who are in this lifetime energy workers, we are here to activate and step into our true authorities, right? And so by getting to know what season we're in with the cyclical nature of the stars, the Mother Earth and her elements, we get to evolve just naturally and tap into that authentic truth and power that we all have. And so that being said, let's begin. This week, major ones. So we're going to go in order, actually. So we have on the 21st of December, we are welcoming the winter solstice and a lot of nature-based traditions that honor the goddess, that honor the elements in Mother Earth and nature. The winter solstice is this time of death and rebirth. And it's such a perfect alignment where if you've been following me, I've been sharing since last week or so that it's important, the element of setting our intentions coming up, especially because of the new year coming through in a couple of weeks. And so with this celebration of death and rebirth, the winter solstice is a time where we allow ourselves to connect, to honor, to slow down. It is the shortest day of the year where we have the darkness. It's a little bit longer than the light. And in the pagan traditions, Wicca, nature-based elements, we would see the sun representative of the king. And so you can think of the darkness as the womb of the mother, right? And she's carrying this child. Soon after, and a lot of times people think it's oh, this is the time of other darkness. No, this is the turning point, yeah, it's gonna be, we're approaching winter, and winter is the metaphor we could say is the time to go inward, especially if you're in the northern hemisphere and we're about to go into the winter season, right? Not just physically, but also internally. And what happens is in the wintertime, it's that time of really just drawing inward, getting your bearings ready, getting your seeds ready so you can plant for the springtime, like what is it they're going to birth up. And that's beautiful awareness, because when you are someone who's, in tune to your intuition and developing your psychic abilities, right? And your connection to your higher self in the spirit realm, that's where we know this is the time that's needed. So we can be very intentional, right? So that next year around, bearing in mind that winter solstice also means that time of harvest. Next time around, next year, right, this time, you'll be bearing up fruit that you planted in the springtime, and then the preparation you put in the winter. And that being said, like even right now, major transits that we'll also touch on and elaborate soon enough is the transit with Jupiter. Jupiter is going to be approaching Aries, the sign of Aries, around the 21st when I took a look at it. And then it'll be approaching Taurus. And so why is that so important is because not only are we approaching the winter solstice on the same day, but it's just like I'm reaping what I sowed last year, right? All the work that I put in, all the shadow work, all the energy work you've done on yourself, working on your subconscious, like reprogramming and everything, like what is coming up, right? And by tuning into our own inner winter season, especially if you're a female who follows her own cyclical season, like her menstrual cycle, the winter season of a female, right? It's when we're on our cycles, when we are most psychic, we are, tuning into our own inner oracles, right? As divinators, right? And when it comes to that, what is it that your intuition, right? Your wisdom is guiding you to let you know that something's being birthed, right? And especially with Jupiter, Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It is the planet of wisdom, of travel, opportunities, like transformation. It's this big energy, right? And when it goes into Aries, which is a sign of initiatory fire, it gives you that spark and power to start new things. And so with that being said, okay, not only might you be reaping something from this past season, but also the beautiful thing is like, getting ready as you approach Capricorn season, following the thread here, which is around December 22nd, 23rd. And Capricorn is this very earth grounding energy. Capricorn is a very diligent, persevering, hard worker. It is the energy of like the planner. And so because Capricorn is so much in terms of planning and thinking about, before they move, they are very successful because they follow the plan, right? And what that means is that it more or less guarantees you that you're going to take the vision that you're downloading from your intuition, especially once you give yourself time to do some introspective work, journaling, however it is that your clairs come to you, your wisdom guidance, whether it's through intuitive writing, downloading through messaging, like whether or not you hear something or feeling, etc. When you receive that vision, like, and you follow the plan, you'll get there. And so everybody, and I love to really highlight the seasons of the astrology because everybody has every single sign in their chart. The difference is that you're either born under a specific sun, right? And then you also have a reflective, your own perspective moon, which is your inner world. And then you have your ascendant sign as well. And those are things we can always talk about later as well. And so when we look at what season we're about to approach, what really is happening is that this is the spirit of Capricorn, the energy of Capricorn. Also, its ruling planet is Saturn. And these are the energies that are wanting to work with me right now in this particular season for the next couple of weeks. And it highlights a specific chart or theme in your life. And typically, when it comes to the theme of Capricorn for this month, it's the theme of like goal setting, right? It's your vision, your purpose. And when it comes to the Capricorn, Capricorn is all about doing things for the long run, right? It is very patient. It knows that the work that I'm going to be doing now for the next coming weeks, the planning, everything that I know I need to do to put into action is for the long-term investments that I will receive. You're on the journey of realizing your visions for the long haul by tapping into your Capricorn essence and that part of you that's being highlighted specifically. Like, okay, how can I work with this energy this month? And then begin to say, that how can it be a little bit more intentional, like more planning, right? And as a result, it'll help me to be more determined, more opportunistic. But when it comes to the moon in particular, with this new moon in Capricorn, which is on the 23rd, every sign has a particular mantra. And so with Capricorn, you can kind of think about working with the mantra, I am determined, I achieve. This is the area of our lives when we're looking at our careers, our status, our reputation, vocational purpose, and also taking power. It is the part of you of like, where do I need to look at myself and say that I am an authority, right? And especially with like light workers and healers. And I always say, especially because I do work with, integrating your archetype, your high priestess self, medicine woman, healer in this present lifetime, with that being a focal point, it's noticing that, okay, why do I pay attention to all these signs? It's because that's what the energy of a high priestess does. She works with the skies of the cosmos. She not only does that, but she embodies it. She embodies that energy. It's not just here in the higher realms of your chakra, your crown chakra, and the chakras above that, right? It's stuck in the ethereal. You actually are tapping into your authority as a cosmic co-creator with the universe. And being here in this lifetime, we take things another step deeper and we open these portals, right? So that we are, again, co-creating with the spirit universe, all that is, for the empowerment, for the betterment of ourselves and for everyone. And so with the new moon, it's all about setting intentions, right? And whether or not you're new to ritual work, working in ceremony, a couple of tips I definitely want to share with you. So one, before you set your intention, you always want to clear. I would definitely encourage you to set an intention for the winter solstice, to write down things that you want to release, especially with the full moon that happened in Gemini. What is it that you're being called to let go? And specifically, as a reminder, when it comes to Gemini, it's about communication, it's about relationships, and also highlighting every single sign has a light and a shadow form. And not that one's bad or anything like that. It's just, these are aspects of ourselves. You can kind of think like, okay, if I am not in my light, you can say I'm not in my wholeness. There's a part of my energy that's being leaky, or I'm not in tune and aligned to myself. I tend to draw into the shadow side, right? So Gemini, it's the sign of in communication, duality, understanding yourself through others, perspective, discovery. And when it came to that full moon that we just had like a week or two ago, it was like, what came up for you that you needed to release in terms of the dualities that you were holding? Maybe the duality can have been the belief that I'm holding and yet the desire, and they're not aligned.
And keeping that in mind, especially with having, coming with the support of the transformational change that we went with the guidance and support of Sagittarius. The other reason why we're being supported to, use the winter solstice to clear out these beliefs is because Sagittarius rules your philosophy. It rules what you believe in. And because it has such a hopeful energy, if there was any duality with Gemini, it's like, okay, that's where you know that the area that I really need to look at and take the time to explore mindfully, and intentionally going into Capricorn, new moon, is my belief area. What are the beliefs I've been holding? And what are the new ones that I need to focus on and hold on with that, like Sagittarius arrow, fire of the light, and focus for the next year going forward. And that's where you utilize your beliefs, your heart, what you feel. You focus on that hope and that ray of desire to let it be your guiding light.
And that's so important when we work with, ritual and ceremony and connect to spirit and the energy as the reincarnated version of the priestess and energy work in this lifetime, a medicine woman, um, because when it comes to manifestation, it's all based off your belief. It's all based off of energy and intention. So if your beliefs do not match your desire, then your action is not going to be in a forward moving direction, or you're not going to be attracting or magnetizing the opportunities, the people, the situations, the right timing, especially to come to your way and to help you support you. What conflict with the others did you have, or maybe something you're still holding on? What perceptions have come up for you that you started realizing, you know what, maybe this is an outdated perception belief I've been holding? What limited beliefs and lack of trust have been coming through for you? And so that goes back to that whole Capricorn, like seeing yourself as a leader. When it comes to you seeing yourself a leader, you have to believe that you are here with something important to say. Your purpose is important, and that you are here to, with your own unique perspective, start your own movement, right? To lead others. And we all do this in our own capacity in our lives, right? Whether or not you're up on the stage or you do that in a smaller network of community. And so when it comes to Capricorn, it's like, okay, I'm looking at the things that I'm wanting to tap into my strengths, the things I'm going to be working on. And then there's going to be the workings I'm going to do for the new moon in terms of intentions, right? So once you clear out all the things that you brought up the past couple of months, things you have not fully released yet, things you know you want to release, and you want, encouragement and confidence that it will be exchanged, energetic exchange. Because oftentimes, if we fall too much in the whirlpool of stagnant energy that's already had a momentum, like from the ego and from past traumas and beliefs that you're currently carrying, it might make you feel like, I don't feel empowered. I don't see the light. I don't know how I'm going to ever change this. So trust. When we work with spirit, when we work with ritual, which is so powerful, the reason being, is because we're tapping into the quantum. And to elaborate a little bit more, I've been doing some digestible bites on my Instagram and TikTok videos. I have a couple on my YouTube, Smiling the Guerrero Divine Cosmic Journey, where I talk about like the basis of the work. You know, when you work with energy and the part of you, the physical part of you, the ego, also mind, you know, works on what's able to be perceived through your five senses, which is limiting because then you think this is all that is, and then I have no power to change anything. But we work through ritual and ceremony, we're opening a portal through the stepping into the altered state of consciousness, which is where we allow ourselves to tune into the energetic field, our auric cells or bodies, light bodies. And we work at the etheric realms, the spiritual realms, with the energies present within our helper spirits of the crystals and plants. And that also works for archetypes, your angel guides, your planets, signs and houses, everything. To help direct the energy of where you're wanting that assistance, right? So it's your physical body in this lifetime, your cosmic channel of you working with all the support, and then you are co-creating and you're learning the lessons in a more smoother way in this lifetime that you're needing to evolve, right? Because you're here for the experience and seeing how wonderful and great you are. And then you step into the embodiment, right? And so when we work with ritual just makes it where you enter this portal, just like I'm taking the action in this level of step, right? I'm building my altar, I'm making an offering, I am releasing, I'm working with the elements, and then I'm also birthing and intending, right? And when you do that through ritual, what happens is you begin to see that all the creative energies, it's your declaration of this is it, this is what I'm wanting, right? That the universe comes through and support in your external field, and then it's your time to take action. If you realize like, oh, okay, if you keep your eyes open, which elaborates into my another step, like while you're working with this Capricorn energy this season and stepping into your authority and like planning, being diligent, being, devoted to your vision, don't be so stuck in the vision that you completely like neglect and don't make space for spirit into your guides to come through and assist you. Because that's the shadow aspect of Capricorn. The Capricorn so stuck in its ways, like there's no other way this can be done. But that's actually not true, because with spirit, like there's so many ways that can come through. It is important to hold on to the vision, but be flexible in the approach. Add a little bit of flexibility. You never know if a helping hand will come through in some other way and the things shift more rapidly than you would have thought according to your plan, right? Spirit wants us to be devoted and take action, but also have fun, which is the other aspect of like, okay, can I remember how can I have fun in the next coming weeks while I'm being diligent and working, right? How can I add that energy of play into my routine, my day-to-day habits, so that I don't lead to burnout? I mentioned that the Sagittarius energy is the energy of like hopeful, like expansion as well. And so tapping into that, it's like that optimism. What did you learn about like having fun with Sagittarius season going on to Capricorn that you can take and continue, so that your integrity of your nervous system for the physical body and the actions you'll be taking, your mental state and emotional stability are going to be in its neutral, like as stable as it can, so you can be that mountaineer, that mountain goat climbing the mountain, do the vision up on top, right? And so, mantras, I see myself as authority. I am determined. Capricorn, as I mentioned, is that earth sign. And so earth is the body, it's the environment, sensuality, it's about abundance, about money, time, the resources that we have, connection with Mother Earth. It's about stability, it's about nature and nurturing, service, security, structure, organization. And with this initiatory earth energy, you think about following the plan, new projects and endeavors are a perfect time, especially with that Jupiter and Aries transit coming in. That's going to be able to kick us into gear. With this, how does your work contribute to the world? Can you begin to at least play with that thought, like in belief, like, by me speaking out, sharing what I love, and me being just going from my own desires, which is one of the biggest things I always say. Not many people do in this lifetime. And so it's a blessing that you are taking like self-responsibility to do that, right? To follow the dreams of your calling. So with this new moon, when you set your intentions and you see yourself as authority and believe yourself to see yourself as your own leader in what it is your vision is, keeping that inner child alive, right? Because I want you to visualize how your vision is like whole and beautiful. It is sacred desire that is pure. And if you've been given the vision, you've been given some sort of inspiration of like ignition, that this is what fires me up. Like, I want to do this, passion, purpose, right? You might not know how it's going to be done and all the little intricate details, right? But something that I've learned and I want to share is that this season alone, like around July, and having approached Cancer going into Leo, one of the major things, and then it just started coming through, which I am releasing, is we have this belief, thought patterns, that we think this is what identifies us, this is what I'll never be able to surpass and grow beyond. Like, this defines me. Like, and just to be honest, like, I had an experience where I had this story playing in my head. Like, I'm always going to be this shy person. Whenever I go into bigger groups in my personal life, like, I'm just quiet, I observe, and then it's not easy for me to make friends. And I'm doing quotation marks here. These were the stories, these are the themes. And whenever I kept feeling into the nerves and falling into that storyline, an event I went to, like, every single time, like, I would default into this belief and acting in that form and taking action through that belief and energy. And at the same time, after the situation was done, I'm like, what? And this is not who I am. I don't like being this way. Like, it's an energy like that required me to go into my shadow, to feel the emotions in order to alchemize that and transmute it into something that shines the light of who I really am. And I share that with you because, whatever thing, story, habit, action that's been in your way in the past year, from accomplishing and taking that next step, that step that's laid out, the next logical step to take for yourself to get there, that block can be transmuted and alchemized, and does not define you. And I felt so empowered because I was looking through my astrology a little bit more closely. I've been working with getting to know myself. And one thing I could tell you, like, when you listen to the energetic, like the scriptures, the texts, words that are true, and I mean true when they come from spirit, it's a capital T. This is truth, you know? there carries a vibration that lifts you up, right? To your next level of frequency and higher vibrational state, expanding your energetic field and consciousness, right? And I looked at my chart and I saw for myself, it was like, it's interesting. A lot of my signs, especially because my inner knowing, I get my wisdom just through knowing or hearing, through spirit, myself, higher self. And it was like, you actually are a natural born leader. You can communicate well. People see this, like, you know, they see the aspect of myself that's very cheerful, optimistic, and like, why wouldn't people like that, right? It's like all, and when you look at your birth chart, when you look at your design, your energetic, your light code, DNA blueprint, that's the essence that you carry, right, in this lifetime. Like, you've already come with it. And it's just a matter of you stepping into it and activating it. And when I looked at it, and because I kept getting like these messages, like, I know how to communicate with people, you know, and I work with affirmations and everything. And I realized, oh, I'm just carrying, I'm falling into, and I'm giving my energy, my creative life force energy, my sovereign, empowered self energy to this old belief from whether that was like experiences in this lifetime as a child where it wasn't easy for me to make friends, or I saw that I didn't have a lot of friends or a large group or circle of people that I was, with growing up, or, you know, friends came in and out, or I left in and out, like the relationships that didn't last. Or it could be things that I picked up as subconscious programs, right? Through family, lineages, other lifetimes. And I just literally had to stop. And I'm like, how can I keep believing something when I see it right here, right? Spirit is telling my spirit guides, my higher self, the energies of the stars are written right here. Well, that's not true. And that aha moment is something that is, what the only best thing I could describe is that's what you're looking for in your journey path. You're looking for your aha moment to let go of the chains that have been burdening you so you can step into your authority as, creators, your own empire, lineages, your own legacy that you're going to leave here. Of course, not forgetting that Christmas on Sunday, the 25th of December, is that other energy. Like, all the energies are aligning for abundance, for celebration, gratitude, especially on Sunday. It's like the vision, the sun of what it is I've been waiting to receive, the hope, the ray of light. And so keeping that in mind and bearing that in mind, you can see how the stars, spirit is already telling us, like, tap into this work, be diligent in honoring your sacred path, right? Through this lens and perspective, so that together, and you're not alone, that you'll be able to receive the fruit. And when that came through, and that's why I encourage you to clear and release and really take the time, today, the 20th, 21st, to release before you set new moon intentions on the 23rd. And again, remembering that the new moon lunation, you can work with that energy about 3 days after, 3 days before, when it comes to setting the intentions. And so before you get down to it and set those goals and set your intentions for the new year, what you want to feel into and call in. And I say feel into it, right? Because you don't necessarily want to think too much on what you should do, because it's very logical. You want to feel the energy of the essence of the feminine leading you, which is more powerful, right? Because it's the vision of the essence that and the energy that You're always going to sense, right? So like the masculine energy will keep you trotting and walking on the path. But what keeps you nourished and never giving up hope is the vision, right? And the energy of it. Um, so write down like how you want to feel with what it is that you want to experience. What do you feel that's most alignment with you, more ease for this new moon? And other things to consider, your new moon intentions could be areas around your career, long-term investments, your legacy, business strategies, goals and success. And that's for new moon intentions that you can think of, at least to kind of give you some sort of thought to what it is that you could put through. You can also look about your contribution to society, your impact, your social standing, material success achievements. Again, you can even look at authority figures that you maybe look up to as an inspiration. Maybe look at if you have a good relationship with your paternal figures, um, patriarchal lineage, desire for achievement, and how you will commit to that success. And why add in the like aspect of the patriarch or your the father figures, male figures in your life, because Capricorn is ruled by planet Saturn, and Saturn is like this grandfather, like father energy. He tells you this is the path, this is the devotion, this is the discipline that's needed. Not because he's trying to like punish you and just like make your life like not fun. It's just because that's what's going to be needed for you to get into that next stage of what it is that one you are shedding, what you are embodying, and what you're bringing forth. Ooh, yes, what you're bringing forth. And why I said, oh yes, it's because it makes me think about like the pillars of what I stand for, which is integrity, which is embodiment and empowerment. You're here to birth a vision. You have all the resources that you need. You have all the divine help and presence. And one of my favorite quotes through the, like when you look at the Christian scriptures, it's like, like when you really look at the word of spirit, word of God, any spiritual text, and like you really look at it through a special lens, your higher self, you actually see the magic imbued in here. Like the codes are in there telling you, like, if you can just hold on to the vision of a child, right? You open that third eye, you keep your heart expanded and in faith and in prayer, and you're expecting a miracle, right? That's how you know that the vision you hold for yourself in this lifetime, the work you're meant to do here will come to fruition, because you're not doing it on your own through the energy and perspective of man, right? Physical form. You're tapping into a greater source that's within you, through you, around you. And well, that's what makes the journey fun. And I'm all about that, of like tapping into really seeing what it is you're fully capable of doing, what you've been called here to create, to do, to manifest, the miracles of bringing heaven here down on earth, and then seeing how all this plays out. And any other guiding words and going forward? Just to recap, release with the winter solstice on the 21st, and make your offering. What is it that you're wanting to let go? You can write it down on a piece of paper, and I would recommend to take a couple deep breaths, and then even incorporate the use of fire into this ritual, safely, of course, and thanking the fire spirit, especially, thanking Jupiter, knowing that I can't expand and I'm not able to receive more and step into transformational change and gain a new experience and grow and travel if I'm not willing or not able to let go of what I've been carrying in terms of old baggage in my suitcase. Knowing that this energy of release is going to be supported by the energy of fire of Aries, that initial spark that as soon as I let this go, I'll be inspired within me. I'll know the steps to take, and diligently with this Capricorn season, being devoted to my vision, to myself, to my higher purpose, and keeping that hope alive and having fun and making way for flexibility, for you to just navigate the journey, right? And keeping your eyes open, the innocence of a child, right? That I will reap those blessings for the new year and even more things you don't even know what's going to happen for you, God willing, right? For the highest and greatest good. And also, what is it that I am, what lessons, what transformational change about me have I let go this past year that I'm stepping into? And ways to work with me. Tune into my divine.cosmic.empress on my Instagram page. I'll be releasing, I'm inviting a free new moon, New Year's ceremony next week. And we're going to do this online via Zoom. Is this something that I feel called to do? Again, teaching beautiful, powerful high priestesses, medicine women, healers, to tap into their higher selves, their intuition, spirit guides, and the energies around them to co-create their lives. We're going to set our intentions. We're going to do a release prior to that. And it's a free event. You can always feel free to message me directly or send me an email at divinecosmicjourney@gmail.com. I will also be offering personal sessions where if you're wanting to know like what the energy in that particular season is asking for you to work on, right? And these are private one-on-ones. And also I offer energy work, shamanic journeys. I am working on something new for the new year, which is a special container that I'll be holding space for those who resonate with the priestess archetype, the medicine woman. They want to learn how to connect to their intuition and properly, live their life and through within sacred ceremony, so that they can see and tap into the magic that they hold and they contain, which is a beautiful experience. And so more on that will be released in the next coming weeks. And thank you. If you have any comments, any questions, feel free to put them down below or email them to me. And I pray you guys have a beautiful, blessed rest of the week. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas.